Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today I'm glad that global disruption of basically everything hasn't stopped me from sitting down to watch, edit, cast, and eventually upload this video in which MbL, playing as the Poles in blue, takes on Mihai, playing as the Aztecs in yellow. Now while the players herd their herdables explore the very cracked terrain explorables and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age, wrong, Castle Age, because we're in Empire Wars mode today. We'll take a look at Cliffbound as well in a minute. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Poles are a civilization that can spam both its light cavalry, which can be upgraded to do trample damage, and its heavy cavalry, which can be upgraded to cost a lot less gold. To support their mounted units, the Poles can field the Obuch, a unique infantry unit whose attack actually lowers the armor of whatever unit it's attacking until that unit is basically naked and afraid. Economically, Pole villagers regenerate HP, their stone miners also generate gold for free, and their farmers drop food off at a full work instead of a mill, which automatically adds 8% of that farm's value to the Pole coffers. Let's take a look as Mihai here begins aggressing the Aztecs in yellow. Man, oh man, a warrior monk civilization whose monks gain hit points for every monastery tech that's researched, and to help pay for those techs, relics gathered by the Aztecs generate 33% more gold, and you're going to need gold if you're going to keep losing archers all across the map. Now, to support their monks, all Aztec military units train faster, their skirmishers can be upgraded to get extra attack and range, and their infantry can be upgraded to get a decent +4 attack boost, which helps their unique unit, the Jaguar Warrior, an infantry unit with a massive attack bonus against other infantry. Now, economically, the Aztecs do start the game with 50 extra gold, and their villagers automatically carry more resources right from the very beginning of the game. For now, both players bouncing from north to south, up to down, bouncing from the forward position of one base to the other as their army numbers accumulate. Let's take a look at the map as they disengage for a hot second. There, by the way, is the full work. Any farm seated within this highlighted aura, 8% of it automatically gets added to the coffers at the top of your screen, and then 92% of it is left to be tilled or worked, or whatever the proper verb is when describing a farm. As you can tell, yours truly is a city slicker, and therefore, having never worked on a farm, I'm not too sure plowing a farm, tilling a farm, controlling the animals that work on a farm, I don't know. Respect the people who work on a farm and wake up at 5 in the morning, but that unfortunately is not yours truly. Few things about this map, which, by the way, is Socotra meets Maze Runner. Lots and lots of cliffs on the actual perimeter of the map, which could explain why they called the map Cliffbound. But unlike Socotra, take a look at the resources on this map. The usual gold and stone. Look at the wood. Look at the food. This is a very rich map in terms of such a tiny, tiny little space for the players to expand into. And so whether we're going to get to see Pole heavy cavalry with Schlachter, or whether we're going to get to see any kind of Aztec military push, they do train 11% faster, all of their military, so they can pump out huge quantities. It is definitely going to be a fun matchup. Now, the next thing I want to mention is you notice that this terrain looks a little arid, a little dry, a little cracked. Anything that you build atop this kind of terrain, whose center point, for example, this house, maybe this archery range, the center point of the structure, if it touches, when it gets attacked, takes 20% more damage. So the map, as you can tell, very full of these resources in various neutral locations. But man, oh man, you are not supposed to be safe while you gather those resources, because they are almost all on cracked terrain. And so castles, for example, take 20% more damage, which is huge. That is a structure you want lasting you a long, long time. You want to pump Viagra as much as possible into your castles. You do not want, I guess, well, what's the opposite of Viagra? Not Viagra? Any event, enough sexual innuendo. Looks like our Aztec is taking a healthy kill lead. He's got 2 villager kills as well. And now he's thrusting himself into the rear. I said no more sexual innuendo. He's thrusting himself into MbL's rear. Looks like some skirmishers are keeping MbL's away as the Eagles come to play. They get another 2 villager kills. Up to 4 villager kills already is our Aztec, who is now ahead 5 villager kills, and he is continuing to explore the rear position. As we saw while I was speaking, I thought there were 2 towers. Now there is 1 tower, must have been taken down or maybe not completed. And again, skirmishers distracting MbL's forces while the Aztec Eagles do the majority of the killing and the work. And let's see what they can get done here. I mean, now they're attacking into a stone gate while a tower goes up. So tower going up for both players, which, to be fair, is advantage point MbL. Because pole stone miners, if you recall, do generate gold. And by the way, it's not a shitty amount of gold. It's not a low amount of gold. Sometimes, you know, when I discuss the Vietnamese with paper money or the Burgundians with their vineyards, it is a very small amount of gold because obviously lumber is, you know, usually the most abundant of resources. So it wouldn't make sense. Ooh, look at that. MbL trapping these eagles here temporarily. A random section of a stone wall. This, for the poles, it's actually 1 gold for every 3 stone mined. So a 350 patch of stone nets you, what is that, 116, 117 gold in addition, which is a just ridiculous amount of gold. Okay, archers are pushing into 1 skirmisher. Usually skirmishers enough to shoo archers away, but when there's only 1, now all of a sudden, okay, Mihai discovers the end of Maze Runner here, where there's nowhere really for him to run anymore, but he is 7 seconds away from Castle Age. MbL hasn't even clicked up to the Castle Age, and these are still Eagle Scouts. And so as much as their bonuses and such improve in the Castle Age, they are still not strong enough to take on 6 whole archers, even with the +1 armor. Maybe if he had +2, it would definitely help out. But now these are basically dead men walking to the south. We've got the Age of Empires ASMR. The Aztec Siege Monk Rush is about to hit us. Looks like those eagles to the north have been cleared up, and now the Folwark is under attack. By the way, how many Folwarks does our pole have? The kind of shitty thing about this map, 3 Folwarks, is that unlike your average Arabia map where you have plenty of room to expand, left, right, backwards, whatever direction you really want to, Cliffbound is small, and it's ringed not only by these cliffs, but also by these deliciously beautiful acacia trees. And so there's not a lot of place to put down these Folwarks at all. The eagles move in. They are now +2 armor. They are now warriors, and they are on the hunt. Still 4 dead villagers, but look at the kill count now. MbL actually takes a kill lead, and he's actually just 1 or 2 villagers behind. So far, the Aztec Siege Monk Rush has just materialized into a siege push. I see a monk somewhere. Where is this monk? Okay, so he's going to gather relics. There are 5 relics out on the map. It looks like 4 of them are clustered. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th on the right. So it kind of looks like the Big Dipper constellation there. And attacking into a palisade. They're going to discover that there's a wall behind that palisade. More and more eagles. Our Aztec has just trained so many units that he is blocked supply, population blocked at 75. Castle Age hit for our pole, and immediately a defensive castle. Probably not enough to save this town center. Oh, the last unit you want popping out is a Feudal Age archer against a Castle Age +2 armored eagle. Although, and of course mangonels. Who's kidding who? 1 shot of these mangonels should be enough to wreck this entire army. But as the archers focus down the mangoes, they themselves get focused down by the eagles, who absolutely slaughter them. Town center. Did it hit the 20% mark? I don't think it hit 480 HP. It kind of looked like it though. In Age of Empires, when a structure does hit 20%, it evicts all of its tenants. And so at 480, unless they abscond earlier and try to run into the castle sight unseen, those villagers will get knocked out. But Obos, interesting, with their giant jamjacks, their massive oversized warhammers. I mean, MbL is very confident that he can hold this town center, and the monk dies. Okay, no conversions for you. MbL is very confident he can hold this town center with a very rear defensive castle. His left side infrastructure is being attacked. Let's take a look at the armor of the eagle, which should be at a 3+2. Now it is at a 3+0, because they took a bunch of whacks Not this guy. This guy's perfectly healthy. And a nice 3+2 pierce armor, 0+2 melee. Another monk's gonna get sniped. Okay, so both players with very interesting moves so far. Maybe I'm the dummy. MbL for now is holding this town center. I didn't think he would be able to hold it against so many eagles. Now gonna get balled by their own mangonel, who I think got a kill. Yeah, 1 kill, 1 friendly fire. Okay. Ooh, okay. I hesitated there for a second just because I'm trying to think, if you see your opponent has gone monks, although I don't think MbL knows what we know, which is that our Aztec is going up to 5 monks. He's getting fervor as well. Remember, they get 5 HP for every tech that's researched. So actually, let's see what their HP is like right now as he continues gathering relics. It's at 50. So when they get Sanctity, it adds the 15 HP, and then because it's a technology that's researched, it adds 5 more. So Aztec monks jump from 30 to 45 to 50 automatically. Now with fervor as well, the old Sanctity fervor combo, they're up to 55 HP. But the reason I was stuttering a little bit there and a little quiet is I'm surprised that our pole is going infantry. Usually against the Aztecs, if you see a lot of monks, infantry, they don't move very fast. And the poles do have, in the late game, to be fair, not right now, but in the late game, they do have winged hussars. One of the only 2 civs in the game to get winged hussars. And unlike the Lithuanian winged hussars, theirs do trample damage. By the way, I was right about the town center. It has fallen. We'll call it Olympus, because that was a pretty cool movie. Obuchs. 23 obuchs to 15 eagles. It looks like 1 obuch has already been converted. The action to the rear. Here we go. Oh, the Aztec obuch beats him out. And we'll see how long these different colored pantaloons, shirt sleeves, units survive here to the rear of the base. I never understood why one pant leg is white and black, one shirt sleeve is white and black. Opposite day here for whoever was the fashionista who designed this unit. Okay, that was a great random number generator hit. And oh, our Aztec is trying to trap them in so they can get converted. Wololo attempted, Wololo successful. Looks like some action just south of that castle to the north here. To the north of the map, south of the pole castle. Another obuch gets converted. Another converted obuch moves to the front here. 4 obuchs to 5. 1 monk has paid for the conversions with his life. But it looks like even if we remove the monks, the Aztec obuchs actually have more HP than the pole ones. And now the pole ones are... I mean, we've seen pro players do this randomly and often, actually. Their units don't do anything. They just move and then they don't do much. It looks like we've got an obuch push to the top left, to the top right, to the south, continuing here for our pole, who tries to get the mangonel, doesn't get it. But I think 2 follow-up obuchs are definitely going to be able to do that. Yep, it falls, but it's killer. Gets converted to become Aztec, and now all of a sudden... our Aztec has 8 obuchs to the 18 of his opponent. That is a 16 unit swing right now. MbL probably wishes he had these 8 obuchs and he had 24 of them to none. What's going on here in the center as another monk dies? I mean, our pole is definitely doubling down on infantry here. Which, who's kidding? Look at this absolute hilarity. The giant hammers attacking one another. I mean, the MbL, I don't know if he's going to be successful going infantry against 11 Aztec monks, who are now going to have Theocracy and Illumination, even more HP, more roided up, more technologies. But man, oh man, the winners here are definitely us, the viewers. It looks like the attack to the rear of the Aztec base has been stopped. We'll have seen it in picture, whether it was murder or conversion. Outpost being placed here. All 5 relics are now gathered inside the Aztec monastery. And for the Aztecs, 5 relics generates the same amount of gold as 6.5 relics, because their relics generate 33% more gold. The only thing missing here would be an Armenian player who builds a fortified church and then loses control of the free relic, and villager gets converted, sniped immediately. Converted Obuch getting sniped immediately. Our Pole is pushing out. Does he have a stable? I do not see a stable. He's got 4 Folworks. Both players sitting at very low villager counts, which is not surprising on a very small claustrophobic map like this. Not surprising when MbL has killed 10 villagers, has lost 6 of his own. Looks like he stopped the castle from going up as well as our Aztec. Olympus rebuilt with a town center here, and now these Obuchs are going to try to bust their way through a few houses. Aztec castle, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The power of the Aztec monk. This one still has full faith, by the way. 70 HP. But ultimately, numbers, as always in this game, do prevail. A bunch more converted Obuchs. Still 7 Obuchs for our Aztec. Now 14 for our Pole. Now, Obuchs themselves are not cheap food-wise. 55 food. Not exactly the most expensive, but still 55 food and 20 gold. Oh my goodness. What other monk, except maybe the Bengali, could take such a pounding and still live to tell the tale? Will they escape? Why do they stop? You can't stop here. This is bat country. Oh, 2 of the monks pay the price for Mihai's pride, or whatever the hell dramatic sentence you want to end that comment on. But oh my goodness, look at them like sharks hunting, prowling. The villager wants to get the hell out of here. How many conversions? There's 6 Obuchs heading south. 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions out of 6. All of a sudden, MbL's Obuch count went from 6 to 0 to 2 to 4. What a bad swing for him. But he does manage to take down 2 Trebs. Unfortunately for him, they are Trebs. Mihai's an Imperial. MbL nowhere close to clicking up. And there you go. Wow. What a ridiculous fun game. I'm loving Empire Wars. I'm absolutely loving. The action starts very quickly. As much as I am a fan of Dark Age, don't get me wrong, I think Dark Age is incredibly important. The way you structure it and set up your Feudal Age, which is really where your military-industrial complex starts kicking in. But Dark Age is, you know, fun for its own kind of organizational. People like me who are a bit OCD or OCP, I guess, definitely love the Dark Age. But like Deathmatch, there is something to be said about Empire Wars thrusting you straight into the action. I mean, MbL was getting rear-ended here from minute, what, 5, 6, 7? Already with a massive Aztec army of Eagles and Skirmishers. But inexplicably choosing to go infantry against 25 Aztec monks. What do we think the conversion count is, okay? If you're still watching this, and I hope the majority of you still are, in your head, have a number. I think about... I want to say about 25 to 30 is going to be my guess, okay? 25 to 30 based on what we saw here. I love that MbL managed to push back, repel the ASMR, which, by the way, is still a threat here. I'm kind of proud of myself for coming up with ASMR, Aztec Siege Monk Rush. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Maybe I'll make that the thumbnail. In any event, kudos to MbL for pushing it back. Unfortunately, again, geared up his entire game plan towards infantry, and the Obuch, as cool as it is, moves at 0.99 tiles per second, which, to be fair, is not that much faster. That's not that much faster than the monk. And so you don't need to be the Slavs to catch these units. And wow, why no cavalry? Do I see even a single stable? No, maybe it's because of what I thought in the beginning, which is there's not a lot of room for Folworks. This is the last thing you want with Folworks, which is to have them stacking on top of one another like this. I mean, this is just gross. This is really gross. You want as much space as you can on a closed map like this. Maybe he couldn't go light cavalry. It's hard. It's really hard to say why he didn't go cavalry. I suspect it's just the constraints of the physical constraints of the map. In any event, let me know your thoughts. If you agree, disagree. 73 obos. How many of those became Aztec? 36 Aztec monks, 49 eagles. And the eagles, I mean, the eagles were the all-stars in the beginning of the game, and then the monk came along, said, hold my beer, and basically, like I said, I think 25 to 30 conversions. Archers, skirmishers, oh no, I spoiled it, 33 obo. So at the very least, we know, because I remember a few villager conversions, or at least one villager conversion. At the very least, I was wrong by 3 units. Peak APM 4 minutes in, peak APM 30 minutes in, both players in the mid-hundreds. Economically, all 5 relics, and oh my god, in a 29-minute game, 5 relics for the Aztecs, 2,400 extra gold. Let's see what the economies look like. Yikes, 6,500 more resources for our Aztec, which is basically just under 30% of a bigger economy. A little bit more wood, 1,600, a little bit more food, 1,300. Oh my goodness, 4,000 more gold. Half of that lead is from the relics, but MbL did manage to get more stone, which did help him. Remember, divide this by 3, and that's how much extra gold. So pretty much 400 extra gold for him, which, to be fair, might want to go, you know, compare that to the relic gold, even though relics you need to train monks, which cost 100 gold to collect them. This is automatic whenever you work the quarry. Let's see, 38. Man, was I off, but not by that much. Okay, pat myself on the back again. I said 25 to 30. This is 38. 38 units converted out of an army high of 104 is basically 38% of the Pole army. Holy shit. Although, to be fair, this was an all army, right? There was 33 obo. So let's do the 30. A third of the Pole army got converted. 8 buildings destroyed as well by our Aztec. And let's take a look at the final kill count. 104 to 87. Villager kill counts basically identical. Both players not really going heavy on the economy at the moment. On a map like this, again, on a small map like this, there's really, where are you going to stick 120 villagers, 140 villagers for each civilization? You're just not. And there's nowhere to do anything anyway. So what a fun game. Man, did we get to see the great white shark that is the Aztec monk. These 7 have 14 conversions. Holy shiitake mushroom. 18 monks here. 18 monks. I'm starting to think maybe even light cavalry wouldn't be able to do jack shit against this army. Like, what the hell can you do against 18 monks here, 7 monks here, 25 monks on the field? These 25 all have 26 conversions. More than, just a little bit more than 1 conversion per unit. And by the way, the damage that the obo does is permanent, unless it gets healed up or unless it dies, I believe. Yeah, I think, yeah, unless it's, well, I guess it kind of makes no sense to say unless it dies. If I said permanent, so it either needs to get healed or it needs to die. Otherwise, it's stuck with the reduced armor that it has. And there you go, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2. Wow. So when we saw the eagle that had 3 plus 2, and then it took 2 swipes, then went to 3 plus 0, it could still potentially take 3 more swipes until we saw 3 minus 3 on the Pierce armor. But what a ridiculously fun game. Big question mark about why MbL decided to go infantry. Again, I suspect just physical constraints of not being... Where are you going to put fullworks here? I guess you could put one here. I guess you could try to cut down as many trees as you can to make room for the farms. But it's not like you can sustain a big cavalry push. Meanwhile, there's plenty of freaking gold out on the map. And both players laying claim. This castle, by the way, a lot less secure than this one. Unless this one's center point is also touching cracked terrain. This one definitely is on cracked terrain. So every treb ball does do 20% more damage to this castle. But ultimately, wow. I like your army. Well, what's the usual prompt? Nice town, I'll take it. Nice freaking army, I'll take it, says Mihai, as he just converts a third of what MbL trained. And not only is MbL constrained with resource location and ability to get food, but then whatever food he does spend, a third of it he donates for free to the Aztec army. And that situation is just untenable, unsustainable, and MbL taps out. Mihai is victorious in a short, as these Empire games seem to always be, but as they always seem to be as well. Very eventful and very fun game. GG, truly, to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.